Good morning. This is Lynda Cromar coming to you from Colorado, and I want to share with you some things I've learned so I can help you out in your business, whatever it is. And I believe that it is possible not to be overwhelmed no matter what you're doing in this business. And I have some ways to help you with that, and we're going to talk about it. This is an interactive discussion. So please, for one thing, share where you're coming from, and definitely also tell people about this. This is going to be every day on the weekday, Monday through Friday. We're going to be talking about things to help you in your business on this time every day. So hello. Hey, tell me where you're coming from. I'm from sunny Colorado, and most of the time it's sunny. Where are you coming from? And share this pretty quick because we're going to get right into it for all of the ones that started out right away. Anyway, England there? Awesome! Morning from Texas. I absolutely love seeing all of you coming in. And also, tell me what you think overwhelm is and what it does for you or doesn't do for you. Definitely share this because we're going to have a really lively we're going to have a discussion. We're in Colorado. I'm in the Denver area, Aurora, Colorado. It's on the eastern side. It's a great big suburb of Denver. And tell me where you're from and invite everybody. What does overwhelm mean to you? What do you think it is? And how do you think you can avoid it? Tell me about that before we get started. I mean, I have my opinions, but obviously you have yours too. Awesome. What is your real name? Passion Horse doesn't mean anything. What is your first name? Absolutely. Invite some new people to this so that they can enjoy it too, because I believe in helping as many as possible. This is not a sales call. This is a mindset call. Hello, Kim. Hello, Kim. Thanks for coming. Invite your friends so that we can have a lot of people feeling better about themselves, because you know what? Overwhelm doesn't feel good. Absolutely. So let's get started absolutely right now. This is going to be every morning at noon Eastern Time. It's 10 my time. Morning Mindset with Lynda. My depressed sister is overwhelming me. Okay. Yeah. Are you listening to all of her depression? That can definitely be a problem. I'm going to talk especially in relationship to business, but also too much to execute. Yes, absolutely, Tricia. Yes. I see that so much. As far as you're concerned, Kim, with somebody that is in your life that is overwhelming you because she's depressed, she needs to talk to somebody, not necessarily you. Because you aren't her counselor, you're her sister. And that's really important. Don't try to be her counselor. You're not capable of really solving that. And of course, not knowing what to do in business. Yeah, absolutely. There is a real big one for a lot of people. Being overwhelmed, not knowing the steps, not knowing where to start. Okay, here's the first thing. Overwhelm almost always happens when somebody is thinking they have to do it all at once. You have to learn it and do it all at once. That's usually difficult for anybody, no matter where you are. I'm going to give you a story that'll help you a little bit. A long time ago, when I was in another company, and you'll probably guess by what I say, but that's not a guessing game, and please don't, because it's not about the company, it's about the experience. When I was promoted to World Team in a particular company, and like I said, don't guess, that doesn't matter because it's about the experience. I was immediately put on these calls, and I was expected to actually get on the calls and actually share what we're doing in the business and helping the other brand new people that are just starting. Do you watch Steve Harvey? Oh, I used to a long time ago, but that's not what this is about. So let's get into this. when I was put into these calls, I was absolutely brand new. And I had no idea what I was doing, and I was scared to death. But you know what happened is that because I had to take action, because I was expected to have that responsibility, I had to step up. Now, as I started to do it, I started to gain experience. And when I got the experience I needed, which happened over time, then I had less overwhelm. Now, I think that's also going to happen for most people. What usually happens with overwhelm is that you try to take on too much all at once. And when you try to take on too much all at once, yes, you're going to be overwhelmed. And that's also true in any part of your life, not just business. But when you decide to break it down into smaller pieces, then you're going to feel better about where you're going. So if you're in a particular business where you have somebody teaching you, then ask them to break it down into smaller pieces so that you know what you're supposed to do and you know the steps, and you only take one step at a time. When you take one step at a time, then you're not so overwhelmed. It's when you're trying to do all 10 steps or whatever it is that you get overwhelmed, because you can't take 10 steps in one step. If you're walking, can you take 10 steps when you only have one leg that goes forward at a time? No, you can only take one step at a time. So the same thing goes with business. You can only take one step at a time. So what is the first most important step you have to take? That is important to know. What is your first step? Most companies and most sponsors know that they have to lay it out. If they don't do that, find somebody that will, because that's really important. You need to know what to do first, and then what to do second, and then what to do third, and then what to do fourth. Complete number 1 before you try to get to number 2. Sometimes we try to skip to the end of the story, and that's not going to help you. Have you ever read a book and all you do is you go to the back page and you read the back page? Well, that's out of reference. How do you know how they accomplished that particular place in the story before you know what happened on the first page? You don't. So reading the last page doesn't help you. So absolutely start from number 1. The first chapter. In fact, start before that. Start at the acknowledgments. Find out what the real purpose is of what you're doing. Whether it's helping your sister because she's depressed, or whether it's building your business and you want to get started the right way, it's all about starting on number 1 first. You can't start on number 10 before you start on number 1. And sometimes that's what happens. Mindset actually comes before success. And a lot of people don't know that. They think the how-to is the start. And that's not true. The how-to comes after your mindset gets better. If you don't understand the vision behind what you're doing, you can't accomplish anything. So you have to know what the mindset is. You have to know what the vision is. That's number 1. No matter what you're doing in your life, the vision has to be number 1. What is your why? That's why they ask that. That's the vision, isn't it? That's the vision of what you need to be accomplishing in your life. So if you don't know what the vision is for yourself and for your whole team, how can you do number 1? You can't. You have to get your mind in the right place. And so overwhelm happens when you try to do all 10 steps at once, or you try to skip to the end of the story. Either way, it's not going to help you to go there. So let's start out with 1 step at a time. What is that step? It's usually meaning joining the company, right? That first step is to find out what the vision is. Find out what you're going to be doing. Don't worry about knowing everything all at once, because that's not possible for most people. What happens when you get on a bike? The very first time you've ever been on a bicycle, doesn't it have to be that you figure out how to get on the bike? Not riding it, not speeding down the road, but getting on the bike and balancing. Those are the first 2 steps of riding a bike. We forgot that because we all know how to ride a bike now. What about driving a car? Do you know how to drive a car? Yeah, you do it almost unconsciously. But at the very beginning, when you first got in the car and you didn't know anything about any of the controls, didn't you have to figure out all of that one step at a time? And then at some point, you got good enough that you could take your driver's permit, and then you could take your driver's license, and then you were considered an expert. But I bet almost everybody is still having problems sometimes with things in their life. You have anxiety and depression. Okay, I suggest that you actually try to get some help with that. I'm not a counselor, so I know I can't help depression, but I do know that sometimes that happens because you feel discouraged. But there's a clinical side of that I wouldn't even try to address because I am not a clinical person. I'm just an entrepreneur that loves to help people, and I definitely want you to feel better about where you're going in your life. So if you really have a lot of trouble with depression, please go get some help. See your doctor and get a professional to help you with that, because I don't know what's important to do, and there are some real important things that you need to do. Some of it is mindset, but there's also a clinical side of that. So I want to be absolutely upfront. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a clinician. So yeah, okay, great. So the other part of it is, what are you doing for your mind? Are you reading good books? Are you reading things that can help you? Okay, you feel overwhelmed with your business. So can you spell that out a little bit more? Are you feeling like you have to do more than you know how to do? Because you still got to go back to number one. Maybe you're trying to do it all at once, or maybe nobody has given you any real step-by-step. If that's the case, you need to find out what the step-by-step is for your company. Those people that you work with will help you if they really care. And if they don't, I've got some ideas with that too. But definitely, you're behind. You're not behind. You have to go on your own pace. Your own pace is not somebody else's. You know, another thing I find is that a lot of people compare themselves to somebody else. If somebody else is achieving something, you don't know their backstory. You don't know how much struggle they went through before they got there. So make sure you don't compare yourself to anyone else, because your story is going to be totally unique, and you're going to go where you need to go, and you need to take whatever steps you need to take, and it's not going to be compared to anyone else. I promise you that your story is going to be awesome if you stop making it a comparison to anyone else. Yes, me what? You are comparing yourself to someone else or to yourself. What is it that you are expecting that you're not accomplishing? I think that's part of it too. Are you expecting more of yourself than you can do? Here's what you need to start doing instead of giving up on yourself and being overwhelmed, is saying, what can I do in a daily basis that's going to move my business forward? Make it simple, don't get complicated, and do one step at a time. And if you do it that way, you do not have to be overwhelmed. Now, when I teach internet marketing, I do my best to teach with a very simple mindset. We don't need to get complicated. Complicated keeps people stuck. And let's not do that to anyone, and let's not do that to ourselves. Getting stuck happens when you are trying to do too much. Overwhelm happens when you're trying to do too much. And that is the message today. I really appreciate all the hearts, and I appreciate all the questions. I really do want to help you. And so here is how you get to my Lynda Cromar Facebook page. This is how you find me, right here. And I will be here every day at the same time. It'll be a quick message, and we can help you get over being stuck so you're successful in anything that you are doing in your business. Bye for now.